We're doing a live stream today on our Costco haul. Now, everything here that we have on the table that cost me around 144.99. And of course, we have our wonderful cat Grayberg has to do his or her inspection of what we got going on here. So we'll get all of that out of the way. But I wanted to show you guys the cost of everything here in Alaska, because it's even at the Costco Business Center, this stuff gets pretty expensive. I mean, because literally that's not a whole lot of stuff. We're trying to shop a lot healthier now, and I do have a sincere question for anybody that shops for their kids and they know how to shop for their kids in a more healthy way. These guys right here. Now, I did check this stuff out on the Bobby approved application. I did not see that this is a really good item. I mean, after all, it's made from Yoplait, and it's full of a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily want to eat in our diet if we're trying to stay healthy and we're trying to keep our kids healthy. So this is basically a school snack that we provide for our kids because they like these things. Of course they like these things because they're full of freaking sugar. So I need to find a healthier option that's packaged in a similar way that we could possibly purchase either at a Costco or somewhere else here around the Anchorage area. So if any of you know of a better option for, a kid's snack type yogurt snack, yeah, definitely let me know, because as we're going, we're just trying to figure this stuff out ourselves. And at times we tend to bump into a lot of walls. So we just have to roll with the punches half the time. And I do need to make some space to get some of this stuff put away here in just a second. But now, right now, the cost of eggs up here. Now, these are the Wilcox brown jumbo eggs. There's 2 packages here, as we can see. And right now, the cost of these eggs is something like, let's say $13.99 per package. Now, the white eggs, I think they cost right around the same price. There's really no reason to buy the white eggs because they're bleached, they're processed, they're just a pain in the butt. Hey there, Noodles, I appreciate you showing up. Yeah, we're doing a live stream on the cost of living here, and also like a healthy type shopping haul that I do at Costco Business Center. Now, this is Costco Business Center, so the items here will vary between the 2 Costcos. And we got 2 different types of blueberries. My children love blueberries, by the way. Let's see, the cost of blueberries are $8.99, regardless of the difference, because these are 2 different types. My wife was nice enough to point that out when we got out of the car. The strawberries, which is another relatively healthy item if you can actually stomach them, $6.99 for the strawberries, $32. The price of this chub has went up since we last started buying these on the carnivore diet. And that's what I do here, is I do the carnivore diet to lose weight. So this will be my food for the next 2 weeks. And hopefully everybody else in the house doesn't eat it all, because we're kind of on a budget right now. It's kind of a tough situation we live in. Well, let's see the price here. This is a little bit over 10 pounds. $3.19 a pound is what the price went up to. And then we always buy these chops. Good healthy option, meat sticks. Super clean, by the way, Bobby approved. And they're about $1.25 per stick. And we got 12 sticks inside of here. My wife already decided to eat one. She's starting to get on board with the carnivore type way of living. She's seeing the benefits that I get from it. And then we got some cheese, of course. This is some really good cheese. We also bought some Swiss cheese the other day from the same manufacturer, and oh my goodness, it actually tastes like Swiss cheese. So if you have a flavor profile for specific cheeses, that is a winning company there, and they're out of California, which is odd. And then my kids and I, we all love this Havarti cheese, which gives us a healthier type cheese. It's better than buying cheddar cheese. Definitely better than buying Kraft singles or anything that's individually wrapped in plastic. We try to stay away from that. So let's see here. The Havarti cheese is $8.39 per package. Let's see. Where's the California cheese? I'm not seeing it here. And oh, there's something else I purchased that's on the Bobby approved list that I was actually surprised. Let's see if I can find the price of that here. It's called, okay, the Chomps. So 12 sticks in here, the chomps, $16.99. So just divide that up by 12. That gives you the amount, per each. Now the peanut butter, we're trying to get healthier peanut butter. This really isn't too bad. It's not too far off the rails, even for our children. And we don't try to force our children to do stuff that we're doing right now, because they'll pick up on what dad's doing in time. But this was a most surprising item that I purchased. Now I scanned this on the Bobby approved application. This was the only noodle option in the entire store that was Bobby approved. And if you're just tuning in there, this is a Costco Business Center haul. We got 2 packages of eggs. These are $13.99 a piece. The meat price up here in Alaska went up, so now the 10-pound of chub is $32 instead of $29.99. We did pick up some blueberries underneath the cheese. We have some strawberries hiding, and we got some peanut butter for the kids' lunches, because we like to make them peanut butter and jelly. But yeah, rocking here. My kids love ramen noodles, but I was trying to find a healthier type ramen noodle that I could buy in bulk, and this is just one of them here. And this is what I found at the Costco Business Center. It's made out of millet and brown rice. I know this isn't carnivore diet related. This is just better health in general for those people that are addicted to noodles. So, and on the back here, it gives a little bit of preparation and stuff. Same thing, same old, boil the water and stuff. But with this, what I think really makes it a lot healthier is that you get to add your own flavoring. So you can pick and choose what type of flavoring you want to put on the noodles. So this is a way better option for the children. I mean, anybody that's eating a, somewhat healthy diet, but includes carbs in their diet. I do not. So we're going to run these off and put them away. Now, my wife did go with me on this trip today to Costco, and it was a pretty good trip. Now, on Instacart, they have a goof up, and I called it right away when they said they had these chubs for $2.50 per package, and that's how they had it on the Instacart application. So we tried ordering some of these 10-pound chubs of meat, and right away when I saw it, people were posting about this stuff online immediately, that hey, you can get these, and some people even got the deal accidentally at $2.50 a chub because somebody wasn't doing their job or paying attention. But yeah, could you imagine that? $32 worth of 80/20 ground beef for $2.50. Some people actually got that deal. Holy cow. That's an awesome deal, by the way. I'm going to get you guys up into the tripod real quick, and then I do need to start putting some of this stuff away. I have to process this beef right away. So as soon as I get the meat home, and that's the hardest part on the carnivore diet is you have to plan your day. So we're going to pick up some things real quick, just get them off the table. We're going to put the peanut butter up in the pantry. And if you guys have never seen my pantry before, this is actually something I had to build in my son's bedroom, which was my bedroom in the beginning. But since there's these big giant windows off to my right hand side, it got too sunny in here and it was too hot, and I'm a truck driver, so I sleep during the day and I couldn't get any sleep at all. Well, this is just something I built here in my room. I live in an old 1975 trailer home here in Anchorage, and sometimes we just have to come up with stuff because we have limited space. And then the other addition was over here. I built something similar on this wall to hopefully help, because we don't have a lot of counter space, so we have to have this shelf set aside. And against my rules, my son took over this down here for his stuff. Teenagers, they're fun. They do random stuff. We forgive them. Maybe I'll get that button clicked there one more time. Yeah, it is expensive there. Who said that? Michael. Yeah, living in Alaska is expensive. It gets more expensive the further north we go. All of my relatives, most of my relatives, they live further north. They live in Nome, Alaska. And the price of all of this stuff, you can almost add at least $5 to $10, sometimes $20 for all of these items combined. I mean, per item. I mean, it gets super expensive living up there. And I did do a video of my wife when she was up there. Actually, she did the video. I just edited it and put it up. But it is a Nome shopping trip. And she did walk around the store for a little bit to, get some of the prices. Because at that time, I was real heavy into the shopping videos, and I think I'm going to start doing some more here pretty soon. So that can be fun. Could you help me put away some of these, please? Yeah. Like the eggs, and because I'm going to start processing this meat here.
You could put a link of that video in the
But yeah, box. It's well, I can't do that in a live stream.
Well, no, but
I can't do anything, and really, I can't even get in the comment section and do anything. Like, we're limited with what we can do while we're doing stuff like this. But yeah, that total Costco haul was $144.59. Everything we had on the table there. But in the meantime, we're going to get the cheese put away and all the fruit, and then I'm going to get set up to process this ground beef the way I normally process it. If you have never heard of chomps, definitely go out and buy some chomps. They might be out of your price range, but they're super clean, super healthy, way better than buying a Slim Jim or buying anything that you could find at a local gas station. Even the beef jerky stuff. Now, I do recommend that if you're in a pinch, yeah, go get the beef jerky at a gas station. It's going to be a healthier option than any of the other snack items in the gas station, because stuff like this is counterproductive if we're trying to lose weight. So we just try to avoid that stuff. And I need to get my cutting board over here and get everything set up, because I have to process all of this meat. And it's something I do automatically when I get home. I still got a thing of eggs out. Okay, let's see what else I need. Now, something I recommend before you do any meat is get your favorite knife out. Doesn't matter. Why am I facing that way? Turn around, silly goof. There we go. So it doesn't matter if you're doing, you're cutting up steak. Doesn't matter if you're cutting up vegetables. I don't care. Sharpen your knife before you get started. Incredibly important. Even when you're slicing into ground beef, it'll make a cleaner cut. It'll have a lot less tearing, and it won't damage the meat. So steaks, pork chops, whatever. And quite honestly, I try to avoid using serrated steak knives or anything serrated, because it just damages the meat. We're not trying to damage our hard-earned money in the process of doing all this. I got space for that in the fridge before the cats knock it off the table. That would suck, having my cats knock that off the table.
That wouldn't really take effort.
Do what, dear?
That would really take effort. I don't think they'd knock that one over.
Well, Gray Bear and Dusty Bear decided to do their thing. It might happen. Oh, yeah. I got you guys facing the wrong way. I thought I was facing this way. Why are these buttons so hard to press? I got big fingers.
There we go.
But yeah, we got a lot of eggs. So on the carnivore diet, I like to eat a lot of these eggs. I like to boil them. Up here, you can see I pickle some, and I have those just waiting for later. We got some hot dogs in a Tupperware. That's a rotisserie chicken we had from yesterday. And today I'm fasting, so unfortunately I cannot eat any of this stuff. I wish I could. But in order to lose weight on the carnivore diet for me, I have to fast. If I'm not fasting, then my weight just stays the same. So, I can eat, burger patties every single day. I can put a little bit of whatever I want on the burgers. I do take a slice of cheese at times, and I will fold it in half, and I'll put half a slice of cheese. That way it lowers my cheese intake, because cheese slows me down, especially when I'm trying to lose weight. And the whole point of all of this is to try to lose some weight, because I don't want to be 450 pounds ever again in my life. All right, let's see if that works better. Ooh, hey guys. Yeah, we're bumbling. 10-pound chubs at Costco. If you guys have a Costco membership and know somebody with a Costco membership, even for a regular type family situation, you're going to have a barbecue, buy this stuff. They always have it there at the store. They have a whole big wall of it. They got 70-30, they got 80-20, they got like 95-10, fat content. It's all priced a little bit differently, but this is a bigger bang for your buck. You can get more burger meat this way, and then you just simply package it in a Ziploc bag, but process it when you get home. Don't take this whole chub and throw it in the freezer, because you're going to have nothing but problems. I've done that. Yeah. I took a big giant piece of meat from Costco. I think it was top sirloin. I threw that in the freezer because I had to process one of these chubs at that time, actually two of them. because we do one into burger patties. We chop them all up into burger patties. And I'm just getting my Ziploc bags set up. So I can get about 4 patties in 5 Ziploc bags out of this. So I get 3, 4, 5 out. And I always have 1 extra out just in case I have more, because I don't have a specific way to weigh these. And what's that? Oh,
I don't know, but I'm sorry.
we have a phone call coming in. It's on the wife's phone. It's okay. If I got a phone call right now on this, it would actually cut the stream. I think if I answered it, it would cut the stream. But I like to take all my Ziploc bags and get them prepared, get them open. That way it's a lot less of a mess. And one thing I did today, I was wearing my hoodie, and I wear that hoodie most of the time when I'm doing a lot of these videos. It's just a regular Carhartt black hoodie, but the hoodie I was wearing, I realized that when I started my weight loss journey, it didn't fit me. It didn't even come close to fitting me. I put it on, and the zipper, I couldn't even close the zipper. I was so well-rounded. And yeah, when you get morbidly obese, you get well-rounded at times. Okay, let's see what we got going on in here. John, how are your legs? My legs are feeling great, Donna. Yeah, especially after that long hike. I took yesterday off from walking. I was planning on going out for a walk yesterday regardless. But yeah, I did take yesterday off from walking because I kind of overextended myself on that hike. If you guys watched that video of Thunderbird Falls, that was a good hike. Now that's also rated one of the easier trails here around the area. And I was like, and I went and looked after the hike was over. I was like, this is rated one of the easy trails. I was like, holy moly, just getting up to the top of the first hill. That's one of the hardest hills, just getting in there. Crazy. But, all right, let's see. Let's see, a lot of meat. Yeah, we eat a lot of meat on the carnivore diet there, million dollar views. How much meat is that, and what's it weigh? So this is approximately a 10-pound chub you get at Costco. It's $32. So that makes it, well, let's see here, what is it per pound? The price went up, by the way. The price on everything, it seems like in the country right now, went up. So yeah, it's $3 and
19.
What is that? 19 cents. They got it overlaying on some other text there, so I can't really see it.
Yeah, $3.19 a pound.
But pretty soon I'm not going to be able to touch the phone. So whatever comments are going to be coming in, I'm going to have to kind of like do this whole thing, like look at it real hard and see what you guys are saying. Maybe I'll catch some good ones. Maybe I won't. I'd never poop again after eating that. That is exactly the opposite thing that happens after you eat meat and fat for a period of time there, Von Milk. Yeah, meat doesn't create constipation. Vegetables create constipation because the fiber is undigestible. We don't digest fiber. We don't digest cellulose. So it just creates a brick in our gut. And if that's, that fiber and that cellulose is added with too much cheese or too much processed foods, soybean oil, vegetable oil, and stuff like that, yeah, chronic constipation is a direct result of poor eating habits and not knowing how to read ingredients on your package. I have not had an issue with pooping after I thoroughly made the transition into the carnivore diet, by the way. I mean, I have so much energy. I have the ability to communicate now, which is something I never had. When I first started making YouTube videos, I couldn't say a complete sentence. It was a struggle. Yeah, it's
now,
here.
Now remember, these are at the Costco Business Center.
Oh yeah, definitely. I tell everybody where we get this stuff from.
Okay.
Costco Business Center is where we buy our meats. We don't mess around anymore with anything else unless there's a really good deal. Now, sometimes we do buy bacon from some of the random stores here in Alaska. We got like Fred Meyer's. We have a regular Costco Center, and we also have Car Safeway and a Walmart. Target sells some random stuff, but we rarely venture into Target these days. Their prices are up there a little bit higher than all the other stores, and we're doing all this on a budget. We're losing weight on a budget. We're getting healthier on a budget. I promote weight loss on a budget. I don't particularly promote, random items, powders, stuff that most people can't afford, because we need to be able to afford this stuff. So what I'm going to do to get this started, I'm just going to cut this chub right in half. We're going to work on half of it. There we go. We're going to set that one aside. We're going to get this one over here in the middle. And I just like to make a random slice right down the middle. This is why you need to sharpen your knife before you get started. Simple, easy way to process a big giant chub, because when I first started buying this stuff, I was super intimidated by just the amount of meat that it is. And as a general rule, that happens when you're morbidly obese. You become extremely anxious. You don't know if you're going to make a mistake or something like that. And you don't want to ruin 10 pounds of meat. So even if you're buying other types of bulk meat items, I have a trash can right here, by the way, so we're not throwing that on the floor. We don't know what we're doing. A lot of us don't know what we're doing when it comes to meat, meat safety, meat handling. And I just wear some black gloves. I try to keep everything as clean as possible. We wipe down the table before we got started because we got raw meat on the table. But all right, let's see. Yeah, that used to happen to me before becoming a carnivore. But yeah, constipation was a big issue for me, Vaughn. And, I appreciate you dropping in and talking about that, because there's a real bad misconception around meat and health and dairy and bacon and cholesterol and LDLs and stuff like that. So if I were to eat, a lot of meat and then eat from the center aisles, all the overly processed foods, and then try to eat this way, I would be screwing up everything. I would make those LDLs more important. That high cholesterol would become more important. And chances of me inducing a self-induced heart attack would become a lot easier. And that just comes from not reading ingredients, not understanding ingredients. Inflammatory products like soybean oils, vegetable oils, all that stuff. It's like if we get all of that out of our system, we don't eat deep fried foods anymore. And you can still deep fry foods. You just have to choose what you deep fry it in to make it a healthier option, because our bodies know what to do with this fat. It knows exactly what to do with bacon fat. It knows exactly what to do with cholesterol from eggs. Our bodies are designed to work on that stuff and work with it because it's natural. It's single ingredient stuff. It's not that boxed nonsense we have sitting in the pantry for a rainy day or whenever the apocalypse happens, because I don't know when it's going to happen. So all I do is I just figure out about how big of a patty I want, and I just slice through the meat. I'm not pressing down. I'm just letting the knife do the work. And then by the time I get to the bottom, makes a pretty nice burger patty, and I'll just keep doing that down the row. Now, I learned pretty quickly when I first started the carnivore diet how to process meat, how not to screw up this meat. Now, a lot of people would just take a big fistful of this and then just mash it up into a ball. Well, if you overwork even ground beef, it damages it and it makes the burger patty a lot less delicious after it's cooked. It doesn't matter how you cook it. If you cook it on a grill, you cook it in the oven, cook it in an air fryer. I like to cook these patties after frozen. I'll put them straight into a cast iron skillet, cover it up, put them on low heat, and they come out perfect every single time. Now, sometimes we cook them on the grill too, and that takes a little bit of preparation if we're going to cook stuff on the grill like this, because I'm going to have to take these out of the freezer, let them thaw overnight in the fridge, and once they're thawed out, then I can add them to the grill, and I can get a much more consistent type cook with something like this here. All right, this is half the chub we're slicing through. Again, I am not applying pressure here. Very, very light pressure. And we're just going to go down the line. There is no specific rhyme or reason to the weights of these. I find that works better too, because sometimes you get some smaller ones that work really good for the children's burgers, and I don't care. When I'm not fasting, I will eat whatever burger patties I create. If I have like flattened out ground beef that I put in a Ziploc bag, I'll eat that in a burger bowl. I'll just mash it up. Quite often I'll add eggs on top of that, and I eat it in one of those big giant Oriental type noodle bowls. Super fun, super healthy way. The best way to get fat into your diet is do this. I can add some extra fat to my burgers. Sometimes I'll cook them in butter. I use bacon grease. I looked at some ghee today at the Costco Business Center, and it was over $21 for a pretty good sized container of ghee. I wanted it, but we're broke. So I'm lucky. I feel very fortunate to have this right here for the time being. I do have a friend across town, and she's got some. She's a prepper herself. She does a lot of canning. She does a lot of preparing for rainy day type stuff. And she did offer her pantry to me a couple of times in the last year or two. And even any time that I need to, I can come over there and get some stuff out of her pantry that she's had left over for maybe a year. So if it should ever get that bad or we're that broke, or like say I get injured and don't go back to work, she'd help me out. And she's been a blessing. I do believe my wife is going to be going on a dip netting fishing trip with her this summer. And it's also something that I was invited to as well. So we're going to get our bags ready. Just regular Ziploc bags. These are the 1 gallon Ziploc bags. And I can get 4 patties in here. And I just stack them flat. But yeah, you don't mash the hell out of these. I'm just rounding the edges. That's all I do. It's just round the edges. I made a short video of this. Actually, my wife did, because I can't touch a camera when my hands are all covered in goo. But melt the butter, take out the milk. Does. Ghee is very healthy. Ghee is very healthy. Beef tallow, extremely healthy. Our body knows what to do with it. You know, our body doesn't know what to do with margarine, high fructose corn syrup. I mean, half the fruits that we ate, I didn't realize were hurting me, because I was addicted to fruits when I was transitioning into the carnivore diet, and that's a perfectly normal phase of transitioning into the carnivore diet. It's also a normal phase of transitioning into a vegetarian, vegan type lifestyle. That's something I did in the past. I mean, I can't deny that it works or doesn't work. It didn't work for me. So this is why I spent, you know, the last 20 years of my life, maybe longer, ruining my health, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to believe. We have all these influencers out here on YouTube that were talking about health, eat less, move more movement. And that only works for people that are in okay health. I mean, that doesn't work for morbidly obese people. Being 435 pounds and trying to add in a lot of movement while eating less and fasting, bad idea. I got some videos about that too. Just bad idea. So if you're morbidly obese, let's say you're over 400 pounds. In my case, I was 435. So I can't really relate to people that have gotten up to 700, 800 pounds, even 500 pounds. But I do know from 435 pounds down to about 300 pounds, which is where I'm at right now, I do know a bit about that because I've been through it. I've experienced it. These are all things that I discuss on my YouTube channel, even while we're out doing nature hikes and stuff like that. But yes, when you're taking care of these types of patties, you just get them sliced to the thickness you want, and you're just gently patting them. You're not over manipulating the patty. And then you put them in a freezer bag, and once they freeze, they will get a little frost, by the way, because there's moisture inside the meat. That's perfectly normal. So they'll get a little bit of frost. Ignore the frost. Don't worry about it. That's not freezer burn. And I've never had meat go bad from freezer burn. I just simply put it in the sink. I rinse off the ice that's on there. Cook it up just the same. No problem. Oh, no. I got furry ones. My furry ones are going to cause a problem here. Hey, buzz off. Go the other way, Gray Bear. People love you, and I know they do, but we're doing meat right now. You can't have cats up here on the table when we're processing meat. And then Dusty's over here off the other side of the camera. So if the camera falls down, that's all part of a live stream. That's part of the fun of watching me do live streams, because these cats have come through in the middle of my videos and just crashed the whole set. And I don't really have a set. I have a trailer home. I'm sitting at my kitchen table. This is where I do the majority of my videos. And I talk to people about how I'm doing it, how I'm losing weight. You know, these are things that I discuss on my YouTube channel. And since I lost all the weight, we've been able to go out on fun adventures like that last nature hike up Thunderbird Falls. Now, that was something I did years ago with my wife before me and her got married. That hike was brutal. I was 285 pounds when me and my wife met. I was horribly depressed because I was going through a horrible breakup. There was a lot of issues going on. I was also depressed because she was going through a horrible breakup of her own. And we were just friends at that time. We were just finding ourselves. I don't even know if we were dating at that time, but I guess you could call that first trip a date. I'd have to ask her specifically. She knows, she keeps track of that stuff better than I do. You know, I'm just a guy. I have a hard time remembering birthdays. I'm doing better now. I can remember my wife's birthday now. And that's something I found really interesting. So as I went throughout the process of getting over carbs and sugar addiction and stuff like that. I was eliminating sugars. I was eliminating sugars I didn't even know that were in my diet, like from fruits, maybe breads, pastas. I just didn't understand. I didn't understand a lot of things about health, because when we're growing up as kids, they teach us a little bit. They teach us the birds and the bees. Some of us are old enough to have had a home ec class, and we learned how to bake for ourselves and cook in the kitchen, just the basic type stuff. They never got into details, anything about ketosis, what's healthy sugars, what's not healthy sugars. And yeah, we've all heard that, high fructose corn syrup is bad for us. I mean, we've heard that for many years, like, oh, we need to limit our consumption of it. Well, high fructose corn syrup has slipped its way into almost every overly processed product in the grocery store. And that's another reason why I do the carnivore diet, is I try to stay away from 90% of everything that's in the center aisles, even at Costco. There's very few items in the center aisles at Costco that I'll even consider, because they're just so overly processed. There's so much stuff, just random stuff. Natural flavorings, you don't know what natural flavoring is. I don't know what it is. Why can't they tell us what it is? I mean, natural flavorings, it's natural, but we don't know what it's natural from. It could be anything. Petroleum products have a natural flavor. The natural flavor that you're looking at could be a petroleum product too. So we just don't know. And one thing we've learned in the last 3 to 4 years, especially after the pandemic, is that all these companies are lying to you. They think you're a fool. They think you're stupid. They think you don't know how to read ingredients. They think you don't know how to use Google. Yeah, they really think that. They're like, yeah, people are dumb. We can sell them anything, especially children. They know children are more susceptible to bright colors, flashy marketing, really cool logos, and trendy stuff like that, because they think your kids are dumb, because nobody's ever taught them the difference between right and wrong when it comes down to what they're eating. I mean, my son, he's taking it upon himself to start eating more meats, more fats. He's paying attention to what dad's doing. That means a lot to me. That means dad's doing something right. Because he's starting to gain weight. He went through a severe depression there for a little while. He's getting over that. He's starting to get to the point where he's going to be graduating high school in a year. That's got to be terrifying, because his generation wasn't taught hardly anything. I mean, they're just taught, how to do basic math and stuff like that. So it's just like, man, the stuff that they're lacking, it's up to us as the parents to hopefully fill in the gaps. Before they get out in the real world. We can't just push them out the door and sit around and smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol all the time. We have to actually teach our kids, hey, this is a healthier way of doing life. If you want to live a long, healthy life and not have all the problems that your dad had, or your mom had, or your uncle, or your aunt, not be diagnosed with diabetes, not be diagnosed with random cancers, absolutely. Eat more meats, eat more fats. There's so many cultures that eat a carnivore type diet. They might add in random stuff from the local area, different vegetables, different stuff like that, but they do extremely well. Even the Asian population, they figured out how to eat, specific types of rices for specific reasons, because they all, provide something, or they don't provide something. And I actually learned from an Oriental lady at a restaurant, because we were eating a lot of, what is it called? Sticky rice. And we were talking about that. And I always thought that stuff like sticky rice was healthy. And then it was an Asian lady at a restaurant, and we were talking about it, and she was like, that's really unhealthy. Don't do that anymore. That's all sugar. Totally unaware. I was totally unaware that at that time that was all sugar. Now there's somebody rolling your eyes. You're like, oh yeah, well, you should have known that. You should have known better. I didn't. That's why I'm here talking about it, because there's a million people out there right now that don't know what I'm talking about. They didn't know that stuff like sticky rice or other types of rice, Uncle Ben's, minute rice, the majority of that stuff is not a healthy option. It's not the stuff that we want to eat. It's not the stuff that we want to consume. And this is all part of the learning process. It's just learning. And so far, that is one thing that I can say that got me started into losing weight in the first place, was education. Education was incredibly important, especially when it came to learning things about fasting, doing other types of eating principles, keto, ketovore, carnivore, vegetarian, vegan. This is all stuff that I've done. And I've learned, they all come with their own risks. They all come with their own benefits. Just about everything, if not done properly, doesn't work. Even the carnivore diet, it doesn't work if you don't actually do it. Now, you can eat a whole bunch of meats and fats and then go out to places like McDonald's, eat a bag of nasty potato chips that's full of soybean oils, then you'll automatically get chronic inflammation. Your body's going to lock up. It's going to retain all that excess water. You're going to gain weight. Even if it's not fat, you're going to gain weight. And I came to find out through the process of learning how to fast, doing water fast, 24-hour fasting, intermittent fasting, that I myself was gaining the majority of my body mass was water weight. So at 435, I can just guesstimate, but I'm thinking I had about 70 pounds of water weight on there. So as I was fasting, I was losing some fat, but the majority of my weight loss was water weight, and it was packed in my head. It was packed in my hands. My hands were huge. They used to be these big fat sausage fingers. My toes were swollen. My feet were swollen. My legs were swollen. Everything sucked. I was in pain. I had chronic back pains. I had chronic issues. I was in pain all the time. I couldn't believe how much pain I was in until I started doing the carnivore diet, and all the inflammation, all the edema, everything else started naturally correcting itself. I started going back to my normal self that I was when I was maybe 25 years old. I feel like I'm 25 years old right now, and I just turned 50 here just recently. That's amazing. I mean, to feel like you're 25 when you're 50 years old. I wonder what I feel like when I'm 60. Maybe I'll feel like I'm 30 when I'm 60 years old. But I've been talking to a lot of these carnivores and a lot of people that have been experimenting with the carnivore diet. Some of them are a KetoVore diet. Everybody's got their own little situation going on. But those people are doing extremely well at 60, 70 years old, 80 years old. We're talking about little frail old ladies that are regaining their health that couldn't hardly move, a couple of weeks before they started doing something like a carnivore, keto, low carb, no sugar type. There's no nonsense in the diet. You don't add in all the extra crap. So it's incredibly hard for me to go out to eat. I found that out the hard way because I've been out to eat a couple times. I've been out to Golden Corral. I've also visited 2 different Mongolian type Asian restaurants. Now, the one of them worked pretty well. I did have some sprouts, a little bit of cabbage, added into what they call like some sort of Mongolian barbecue bowl. Even with the sauces, and I know there's a little soy at those places, but one restaurant in particular, Twin Dragons here in Anchorage, worked out extremely well. When I was just getting the bowls, and I ate about 5 of those bowls before I left because I'm a binge eater. So if I eat a lot of whatever I'm eating. So I can eat 4 of these burger patties in one sitting, no problem. I'm trying to tone that down to about 2. But back to the Mongolian place. So Twin Dragons, I did extremely well with whatever added ingredients they used for the sauces, and a little bit of soy, a little bit of vegetable oil, I'm sure got in the mix. But I didn't walk out of there feeling like crap. I walked out of there after eating 5 of their Mongolian barbecue bowls. And I looked at the wife, I looked over to her, and I was like, honey, I feel amazing. And she did too, because that's all we ate. Now, they have a buffet of traditional Asian buffet type foods, the sweet and sour chicken, the Mongolian stuff, and it's all covered in sweetener and sugar and all kinds of other stuff. So we just stayed away from that. And then we just stuck to the healthier option. And it worked out well for both of us. We felt absolutely amazing. I'm being attacked by cats over here. Go away, you guys. I need to move their food bowl, but I can't. My hands are covered in beef stuff. But then I went across town to another Oriental type restaurant, serves the exact same type of cuisine, total different business. And we got the Mongolian type bowls. I'm not going to name the restaurant because I really don't like giving bad reviews because their food really isn't that bad. It's pretty good food, but their ingredients that they were using did not work well, did not agree with me. And at that time, I think I had already lost over 100 and something pounds. But after I ate that meal, and I think I had maybe 3 or 4 bowls there. So again, binge eater, I eat a lot of food. But whatever was in there for the added ingredients did not agree with my edema. I automatically felt inflammation within 3 hours after being there. I felt like crap in the gut. So you just got to watch what we're eating when we're eating out. Same with Golden Corral. We took a trip out to Golden Corral. It was steak night. It wasn't horrible, but I think the problem I had there was as I was mixing and matching different types of meat. I was eating chicken. I was eating some other hot dogs. Pretty much if they had a protein option available at that Golden Corral, I was getting into it. And they had steaks, they had burgers, and I was eating some of the burger patties. I mean, it was a good experience. It was a nice time out with family. And again, sharpen your knives before you get started, because you're going to want to, cutting through the plastic is a whole lot easier. And if I can just get it started, it'll just glide right through there. Then I can peel that off. Boom, just like that. Just peel that off the chub. But when we did our birthday video, we went down south here of Anchorage. We went down towards Girdwood, and we went down through Turnagain Arm. That was an amazing trip. We had a fun time, and it was most random, by the way. It wasn't planned. We were just getting out, enjoying Alaska, having some fun. On the way back, everybody got hungry, so I had this, Dad always has a great idea that works out well for Dad. It didn't work out well for the kids. The food at this particular restaurant did not taste good to the kids, and I understood why. I took one bite of what they were eating, and it was horrible. I was like, and I told the people there about it. I said, that was absolutely bad. We're going to have to go somewhere else and get our kids fed. But thankfully, we were close to home. But I had an amazing carnivore type, or anybody else on a health journey, healthy option at this restaurant. And the restaurant's called Qdoba. Now, it's a fast food type restaurant that serves up, Mexican type cuisine. And so I got what somebody else recommended on a KetoVore channel that I used to follow. They talked about going to Qdoba and loading up on the protein, like eating double protein. In that case, they were talking about double chicken options. That was something I added. So I added 2 of the steak to this bowl. I added 2 of the steak and 2 of the chicken, all in the same bowl. I did put a little bit of sour cream on top. I asked them to put some guacamole on there. Worked out fantastic. I felt amazing afterwards. I paid attention to how they were cooking the chicken and how they were cooking the steaks, and it fit. It fit what I was doing. I got a little burger juice runoff there I had to take care of before it gets in my cat's tail over here. It's my cat's right. Cats are doing cat stuff. They're allowed on the counters. They're allowed on the tables. I try to discourage them from getting up here when I'm processing meat. But it is what it is. So far I have, that'll be 3 bags with this patty here. Now I'm working on the rest. So again, when you're slicing into this burger meat, gentle. You want to be gentle with it if you want really, really good burger patties. Super juicy. I'm talking juicy burger patties. It's not losing all the fat. Because the fat, our bodies know what to do with the saturated fat. I'm going to say that 100 times. Maybe not in this live stream, but I'm going to say it 100 times in the process of me losing weight. Because it just blows my mind. Our bodies are incredibly useful things. We just need to take advantage of what the body already knows. And the body knows how to process meat. The body knows what to do with saturated fat. The body knows how to self-regulate cholesterol, LDL, and stuff like that. What it doesn't know is that we have a mind of our own, and we tend to wreck it. We tend to wreck it constantly with easy items. If it says easy on the package, quick, stay away from it. Do your research. Figure out what you're eating. If it's microwavable, chances are it's not a great idea either, because it's usually overly processed. It's frozen, and then it's just put in a crappy package that's going to leach out a bunch of chemicals when you hit it up in the microwave. Just again, it's just more learning. Just learn more as you go. Learn more about yourself as you're losing weight. Even if you're gaining weight and you just don't care about life, just learn a little bit about health and nutrition. You'll save yourself a bunch of time later on in life, and you won't be sitting in the doctor's office waiting for your next diagnosis of, sorry about your luck, man, you're going to die, you got cancer. Yeah, if you took care of yourself a little bit better, you wouldn't have cancer and you wouldn't have diabetes. And I don't really believe that diabetes is a hereditary type situation. I've never had diabetes in my life. I have other family members who have had diabetes, and they're really closely related. Now, even when I was 435 pounds, not even close to having diabetes, I ate like crap. I mean, me and my wife were married to pizza for a long time. That was our go-to, for either date nights or any situation. We'd order a pizza. We'd order a pizza just to feed the kids, because guess what? It was easy. Just pick up the phone, call Papa John's, order Pizza Hut. Let's get Domino's on the way. What are we going to add in there? Because they always had these crazy desserts and stuff like that. It's like, what were we doing to ourselves and what were we doing to our kids? Now, I'm not against a good pizza night. I'm also not against a lot of things. I'm not against vegetables either. I just don't eat vegetables because vegetables make me personally constipated. If I eat fruits, they don't absorb correctly in my gut. And I already had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I didn't even know I had it. I just thought it was something else. I didn't even think much about it. I just knew that I couldn't go throughout my day without planning where the rest stops were going to be. Are we going to Walmart? I wonder if the restrooms are open. So I had a really tough time when COVID happened and everybody was shutting their restrooms down. I didn't want to leave the house. It wasn't because of COVID. It was because I didn't know if I could hold my poop. I was worried, sincerely worried. Like, what's going to happen next? And am I going to poop my pants? But that was because I was stressed out. I was eating horribly unhealthy. My IBS was creating a lot of anxiety and stuff, which is cured by eating the carnivore diet, by the way. Your anxiety goes away. Your depression tends to go away. If you're on the people that have been depressed for their entire life have started the carnivore diet, and all of a sudden now, after 3-4 weeks, some of them 3 months into the carnivore diet, they're completely off of all of their depression medication. If you don't believe me, go check out Kerry at Homestead How. He talks about it all. He was there. I've had enough time to go back through his journey and thoroughly research. Hey, where does this guy come from? He didn't start out looking like he does now. And when you start out on the carnivore diet, you see guys like that. You see guys like Dr. Chafee and other people that are just a tomahawk guy. He's eating tomahawk steaks. He looks amazing. He's ripped. But if you go back and you follow, even Dr. Ken Berry, you go way back in his journey of being a doctor, an online type doctor. Dr. Ken Berry, I think he was the morbidly obese guy that was giving out health advice. And after a period of time, I think he woke up and realized, like, oh, hey, I need to do something about that, because it's hard to be credible, when you don't look the part. You're trying to teach people how to be healthy. And I got a lot of back videos, in my file there of losing weight in Alaska, of where I started. So, anybody could subscribe. You don't even have to subscribe. I only ask people to subscribe if you plan on coming back, because a subscriber is just a number if you don't come back and you don't actually talk to me through these videos, through these live streams, through any of the content that I randomly create on our YouTube channel, because that's what we're here for. Is we're here to communicate with you. We don't want to just be making videos for ourselves. Anybody can make a family video. When I make a video, I'm trying to connect with others, in other places. Either it's Alaskan based type video showing you nature, how beautiful it is, the time of year, or we're trying to show you videos of Alaskan type shopping experiences. Maybe sometimes it's going to be videos just here around the house doing stuff like this. You never know what we're going to have going on here. We also don't know, you never know what I'm going to say. That's a lot of the fun of doing YouTube. And that's part of the fun of following me, is because I can just randomly, just out of nowhere, say Nickel Fritz. I don't even know what that means, but I said it. You see what I mean? Just, you don't know what I'm going to say next. It's fun. We just have fun with this. And years ago, I've only been on YouTube for about a year. I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel confident. I couldn't sit here. Have a conversation. I couldn't be goofy. I couldn't be natural. Now I'm just talking to you literally like I would talk to you across the table. Like if you were sitting in that chair right there behind this camera. I just talk to people like that. I tell you what's going on with me. I tell you how I feel when I'm going through things, because I make plenty of mistakes. I make mistakes on live streams. I make mistakes on videos. some of my videos, that's the fun part about it, is we just put it in the video, just like here. I always like to leave Easter eggs in my videos as well. So, you know, and I might put it in there in random spots. I typically try to put my Easter eggs in at the very end, and it's usually after some dramatic animation or something like that. You know, the whole boom and the loud music. I'll try to put in something towards the very end of the video. You know, that's just for people that actually stick around and watch the whole video. They might get a little treat, you know, see a little inside photo, you know, something about what I'm doing. But I do tend to do stuff like that. I was putting them further up in the videos, and nobody was noticing them because they were just kind of blend in with everything else that was going on. Because I try to keep my videos relatively high impact. I do a lot of talking, but I'm learning as I go how to create better videos. I'm also learning how to implement more B-roll, which is added footage. So there's a lot less boring stuff of me just sitting here talking across the table. That hiking video came out extremely well, even though we had a camera failure halfway through, and then it corrected itself later on. So I had enough footage to hopefully make that hiking video interesting. I would have been so upset if it was only one camera recording. I would have been so upset. I mean, we spent a lot of money on this YouTube channel, and we have not even come close to covering the cost of everything that it's cost us so far. So let's see, what do I got here now? I got 1, 2, 3. So I got 4 bags. I'll probably get at least 5 bags out of this one chub. Really nice, healthy burger patties. That will be number 5. And then we're going to have a little bit of burger meat left over here. We'll save that for most likely. I think my family wanted to have spaghetti tonight. Yeah, not on the carnivore plane. I'm fasting, so I don't have to worry about eating it. So I'm really not worried about that. But I can brown that up for the tomato sauce later on. So approximately each one of these bags, I've weighed them in the past, and they weigh about 2 pounds. So some of these burger patties can be anywhere from a 1/4 pound, you know, to a 1/2 pound to 1 pound burger patties. That's a lot of meat, but I can eat 4 of them. So consider that. But when you're eating stuff like this, like even 80-20 ground beef, and you're eating it on the carnivore diet, this is nothing but health and nutrition right here. I have very, very few supplements now that I've gotten further down the road in the carnivore diet. The only supplements I mainly use right now is some magnesium supplements, some D3s. Let's see, zinc is another one. A lot of us are zinc deficient. We just don't even know it. Let's see, fish oil. That's a regular one. So I go to Costco and I buy the big Kirkland brand fish oil. That's also Bobby approved for those people that know who Bobby Parrish is and have the mobile application on your phone. That's a fun application, by the way, because I tend to go into the store and I'll just duck out from my wife and I'll just start scanning products, seeing like, all right, is something Bobby approved here? Because if I can find something that's Bobby approved, even if it's not carnivore, I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up and bring it home for my family because my family's not doing the carnivore diet. Now, when we have guests that come over, I want them to have a better option, even if they're a guest in my house. So if it's peanut butter, if it's something like a mayonnaise, even sauces, yeah, I try to pick up Bobby approved items because that guy put in the work. He put in the effort for us, for our better health. I mean, the guy really cares about people just like I do. That was the only reason I started sharing my adventures, because my entire weight loss journey is because I found out right away. I was already doing YouTube videos, so I was like, you know, I hit a roadblock. I didn't know what to create anymore. I was depressed. I was miserable. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start creating YouTube videos wrapped around my weight loss journey. My wife did not like it at the time. She thought it was a horrible idea. She's like, why are you making these videos? You know, because nobody was watching them. It was just one of those things. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe somebody will hear me. You know, maybe somebody will see the progress. And so far, creating videos around my weight loss journey has worked out incredibly well for accountability. It keeps me accountable. I have to come back every week. I have to talk to the people that are following me, you know, the people that are sharing my carnivore journey, people that are just going through basic weight loss journeys of their own, getting started. I mean, yeah, I'm a 50-year-old guy that figured out how to lose weight with little to no exercise and seriously not a whole lot of effort. Now, there's 101 ways you can learn how to lose weight. I have figured out 101 of the wrong ways, and this just happened to work for what I'm trying to do. So experiment with different stuff. Learn why those different types of diets, eating strategies, and they're all strategies, because they're every diet known to man is a basic experiment of what's going on in your body. Some people might not respond well to eating just meats and fats. I know some people that don't. They get histamine issues and stuff like that when eating specific types of meats, when eating specific types of cheeses. Some people are allergic to egg proteins. Some people are allergic to protein, meat-based protein. That sucks. I mean, because this is where you get B12. If you want the good, solid B12, you have to have meat. Now, you can get some weird, overly processed, mutated version of B12 on a vegan diet. I don't know exactly where it comes from, and I don't know if it's 100% vegan, because I don't trust people anymore. People that make products, I learned not to trust them. You remember all the GNC stuff that they used to promote, and they don't promote it near as much anymore because they were getting a lot of heat because they had some products on their shelves that weren't what they said they were. Some of their vitamins and stuff. People really started digging into the vitamins and some of the nutrition type powders, electrolytes, and stuff like that. People really started paying attention to where they came from. And if you click on a website that has like, hey, try this green powder, it's scientifically made and scientifically proven and approved by like 12 different doctors. Seriously research who those doctors are. If those doctors are experts and they don't have a name provided, they're pulling the wool over your eyes. Because I was recommended a product early on, and one of my videos did really well. Somebody wanted me to test out one of their products, and I responded to them. I said, well, for one, it doesn't work with what I'm doing right now, so I'm going to decline the offer. And I will overly research, what you got going on, because you have several doctors on your page, and I don't see a name on a single one of them. I said, so I actually did figure out how to research one of the doctors, and one of them was a foot doctor that was recommending this powder, this healthy type powder. And it's like, if you were to pay cash for it, it was a $90 powder. And we've all done this. We've all gone out and bought these big jars, protein powder or, whey protein. Whey protein is bad news. Don't use that. That's just my opinion. Don't use whey protein. But anyways, like a lot of that stuff is made of soy, and soy doesn't work well, with anything that we're trying to do. So we're going to tuck this last one in its own bag, because this is going to go for, pasta tonight, whatever. I'll just add to what we already got thawing out in the fridge. And it's time to get this little bitty mess cleaned up a little bit and picked up. It's really not too bad. It's not a huge mess here. I'm going to duck out of the screen for just a second. Don't miss me too long. Get that in the sink. All right, very good. So, yeah, one of those burger chubs. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags, 5 Ziploc bags with the 4 burger patties in each bag, and then I got this left over, all for $30-something. That is the way to go. That is the way to go. Definitely buy the big chubs. I don't trust the meat at Walmart. I've gotten food poisoning from a lot of the meats at Walmart, so I don't typically buy too many meats from Walmart. Even the frozen stuff. I've had issues with the frozen stuff too. Not necessarily got food poisoning, it just made me feel a certain way. So I know well enough now that, the majority of the packaged meats, frozen meats from Walmart don't make me feel good, because I don't know why. I don't know what's in them, or how they processed them, what they did, what they didn't do right. So yeah, I just get these all laid out flat. I always have a towel just to wipe off the seal. You want to wipe off the seal real good. Then I'll get it halfway zipped up. Then I'll try to push out whatever excess air. Now these are just going to lay flat in the freezer. Now if you have a freezer, these are raw, by the way. So if you have a freezer that's got those grates in it, all I did was take an old pizza box and I just cut it up so it just lays flat in the freezer. I'll show you that here in a little bit. But that way, when you stack these up to be frozen, they don't get the grates you know, ingrained in there, because it makes it really hard to take them out of the bag later. And I like storing these like this because when I'm ready to eat, I take 4 of these, boom, over my shoulder into the cast iron, super low heat, low. You want to cook these low from frozen, and you cover it. It has to be covered, or else it won't work correctly. Because you're trying to radiate the heat up and around the burger, cook it from all sides. It's cooking it from all sides at the same time, even though the majority of the heat's on the bottom. But you want that heat to rise up and then come back down onto your burgers. That's what keeps the bacteria from forming. You know, stuff we learn as we go. That's all the fun part about doing this. Yeah, I haven't looked at the comments in a while. Eliminating all processed food really helps with mental clarity. Amen, Amber. Yeah, have you ever been notified of when you will get back to work? Well, so we got road restrictions in Alaska. That just prevents us from hauling full loads of any materials on the majority of roads that we tend to service for our customers. So we have a history. I looked at the history of weight restrictions here in Alaska, and it goes back for a long time. I think the longest was like 72 days for weight restrictions to maintain, but it doesn't maintain for all roads. So some roads will be opened up to 100%, and if that road just happens to go to a job site, then we could be to work, you know, within a week. But it all depends on what DOT decides. So within the next week or two, I should be back to work. Unfortunately, I won't be on YouTube near as much because who knows? I could do a live stream after work. We could get together and hang out. But my work weeks get pretty hectic. They get busy, and I try to focus on, you know, what's going on the next day of the project. I try to get a mental picture as to what we're doing, especially if I have to do stuff like equipment moves and stuff like that, because I plan for the worst. You know, something's going to happen. Something could go wrong. I try to plan for that because we really don't have time to waste. You know, especially our summer does not last long up here. So making a lot of mistakes, having accidents is something we really try to avoid. You know, plus employers don't like it. They don't like it when that happens. But okay. We're going to head on over to the freezer now and get this stuff put away real quick, and then I can actually pay attention to what's going on here. So, this is what we have. We have 5 bags made from a 10-pound chub. Each bag contains 4 burger patties. This is what we had left over. We're going to use that for pasta tonight. And we already have a bag in the fridge thawing out for pasta tonight. So, I don't know where it is. It's on one of these shelves. It's tucked up. There it is. It's hiding right there. Look at that. I found something. Hey, Mom, I did a thing. It's okay. We're going to come down here. I'm going to show you what I got going on in the freezer. Now, I don't have an amazing freezer setup. I have one of these bottom freezers. I didn't think about how much of a pain in the butt it would be for me to get inside these freezers. So this is where I store my burger patties. Probably going to feed these to the dog. I ate these yesterday when I broke my fast, and I did not feel well. And those are just 70-30 Walmart meats. But yeah, I cut this old pizza box here. I lay it flat. That way I can just plop those in there. And then the weight of the other patties will not. I got to set you guys down for a second, and then we'll go from there. But that way, the weight of these burger patties doesn't get the ribs, you know, from the freezer rack here. Because when I stacked them up before, I had these horrible ribs that came up through the burger patties, and it made it extremely hard for me to get them out of the freezer. There we go. All right. This is stuff that I bought here. I don't even know why they're still in here, but. So I bought these a long time ago. Before I started losing weight, I was making a whole bunch of smoothies. If you can see that. Yeah, there we go. Thin frame. I haven't even opened this one. That's got to be at least a year or 2 old. And then I had this. This is, that's my wife. My wife likes to eat this stuff with the kids. Not the worst option in the world. Then we got some broccoli. Let's see. We always have some native food handy. This is muktuk. This is for our native relatives when they decide to come to town. Now they might want to snack on that. But yeah, that's my disorganized freezer. And now I can kind of see what's going on here with you guys. But yeah, anytime you get ready to process meats, always have some gloves handy. You know, they don't even have to be anything fancy. I just have these nitrile gloves. I don't remember why we got these. It might have been for when we were doing other stuffs. That up there, I like to store stuff in weird places. But I always know where my stuff's at. It's when everybody else tries to find my stuff. Sometimes I keep it out of the way. Let's see. Casey Jones says, we hear you, buddy. Amber, eliminating processed foods really helps mental clarity. Yes, it does. It's Casey Jones. I've been eating copious amounts of Irish butter. That's not too bad. I like the Kerrygold. Here in Alaska, we only have so many options when it comes to somewhat healthy butters. If you want to go to Natural Pantry, and that's the uppity store, you know, where all the rich people go, and they do have some higher prices there, but you can find some pretty good options, healthy options there. But yeah, if you're wealthy enough, absolutely. Definitely buy the healthier type butters, the natural butters. They're not overly processed. They don't have a bunch of crap in them. They don't tend to add sweeteners to those type of butters. But butter is a natural fat. Our body knows what to do with it. And at one point they told us, you know, cut out all the salt, cut out all the butter, cut out, you know, literally they were telling us to cut out everything for how many years? It seemed like every time we turned around, we were buying the wrong stuff. Then they were like, drink more water, but don't buy this water. Don't drink that water because there's something wrong with that water. That water's acidic. This water's no good because of that. This water's not packaged right. What do we do? Who do we listen to? Then it's just like, don't drink water that's cold. Don't drink it warm. Don't drink it after it's sat in a vehicle for too many days. It's like, okay, I just had to just totally stop with all of the overstimulation when it came to trying to figure out health and nutrition and weight loss. That is why the carnivore diet works for me, is because it's really simple. You know, even when it comes to cooking meat, processing meat, storing meat, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. And most of us have been doing it for a period of time, all through our lives. It's not that hard to figure out. If you don't know how to do it, it's not like learning how to do a vegan diet correctly. Now, when I was doing a vegan diet, I was just overwhelmed with the amount of science that went into something like a vegan diet, a vegetarian type diet, because certain vegetables do certain things and they're not always positive. You know, the oxalates for one thing. I mean, most people don't even know what an oxalate is. They hear about it. They hear the word oxalate. They never look into what an oxalate is and what conditions it can make inside a person's body. I was that guy. I didn't know what an oxalate was. I don't even know what a freaking macro is. It's something to do with numbers and calories and, you know, protein. No, I don't know. Macros. I don't count macros. I don't tend to count calories. I have lost the majority of my weight without counting calories, without paying attention to macros. And I've also lost my weight without a whole lot of exercise because I was 435. And when you try to exercise at 435, you tend to injure yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're making yourself useful if you have to go to work every day. If you're not already handicapped by the amount of weight you have packed on your bones, I mean, you can be pretty quickly. So yeah, I tried to figure out how to lose the weight without a whole lot of exercise, because even at that time, I was trying to move more. I was trying to walk more, and I was ending up injuring myself, which limited my working ability. You know, and I just do simple jobs. I'm just a truck driver that drives a truck. You know, I haul freight, I haul gravel, I've hauled fuel, I've hauled doubles, I've driven triples, oversized loads. I've been up and down the Dalton Highway. I've been on every single Alaskan road there is. I've delivered places where I've had to back out almost 15 miles just to get back onto a place where I can turn around. I mean, it's just ice roads. I've driven up the Yukon River, up the middle of the Yukon River in a big truck with a load of dynamite. Now, that was so dramatic that the ice road trucker camera crew did not want to go on that trip because they said it was too dangerous. That's how much crap I have. I have a little bit of hatred towards the History Channel and the ice road truckers, because when I watch it, I'm just like, that's fake. That's fake. That's over dramatized. I'm like, holy cow. I like the show, by the way. I love watching the show Ice Road Truckers, you know, because I was doing it. I was out there. I was out there doing it even though I wasn't the guy on camera. I didn't care. I actually specifically said I didn't want to be on camera. I never signed any of the contracts, because they were filming while I was working. And they were like, well, you need to sign this so we can use the footage. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to sign that because you're not going to pay me. If I'm going to sign something, you're going to pay me. You're going to pay me something, even if it's $20. But, all right, have you ever been, let's see, not a forehead, but 5 head. Absolutely A+. I have a big forehead, and I like it. I like that it doesn't have a whole lot of hair because I have a lot of hair missing in this area right here. Now, I noticed in my hiking video, if you want to go check that out, AJ+, I had a big freaking mosquito. If you can tell me what the timestamp is on that, I'd be appreciated. So, all right. Yeah, I do appreciate the view from A+. We always get people that say stuff about my forehead, and I don't care. I really don't care. If anything, I appreciate it because you're just pushing my numbers up. That's good stuff, man. Don't forget to hit the 3 dots up here on the corner. And you click those 3 dots, you can hit the like button before you leave. That would be appreciated too. But all right, guys, we've already been going over an hour. I don't want to make this incredibly drawn out and long. I got some other stuff to do. And if I look outside here, it looks like the sun is shining. Ah, check out my entryway. The sun is out. I love this entryway. The wife and I built. She helped a lot. She helped a lot put up the roofing panels. And we hang our fishing poles up there. It's just interesting. It keeps the wind out. It keeps the snow away from our crappy front door that doesn't keep winter out. That door needs a lot of work. Needs a lot of attention. And these mobile homes here in Alaska, they're constantly moving with the frost. The frost pushes everything up and down. I had to readjust that front door a couple of times this winter. What a pain in the butt. But yeah, I'm starting to stray off topic here. We're talking about my home. We're not talking about Carnivore or Costco haul anymore. But yeah, if you're just chiming into the stream here, I started out this stream with an Alaskan Costco haul. So after this is up, you can come back and check it out. And as always, I do ask people to please, hey, send me a postcard. So after this video is uploaded, or if you want to click on one of my other videos or look at the channel description section, I do have a P.O. box attached, and I would love to get postcards from anywhere in the world. I want to start a collection for my kids of postcards from all over the world. People I may have contacted, people have heard my voice. If I inspired you in some way, I think it would be a great gift to hand down to my kids. As far as all this YouTube journeys type stuff, weight loss journey, getting a better health, and just sharing our Alaskan experiences with the world, I think that would be a great gift to my kids, after I'm gone. I think they would appreciate it. All right, guys. Again, thank you for being here. I'm going to fumble out of here. And hey, yeah, all right. Thanks a lot, Amber and Donna. I appreciate you guys as always. You're super reliable. And I do appreciate every single one of you for dropping in all the time. All right, we'll talk later.